What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Parked Car Phantom making another visit so soon. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the great crypto trade of 2021, and it's definitely something that I've been thinking about lately over the past week. And so just to kind of paint the picture, depending on when you're watching this, so I think Bitcoin is down from its highs of about 60K to about maybe like 34K. And Ethereum is probably down around the same amount, maybe a little bit more percentage wise, or maybe a little bit less. And then you have some of the altcoins, at least the ones that are offered on Robinhood, that I know of, is like Litecoin, which is like a cousin of Bitcoin, like a slow cousin of Bitcoin or something. And I don't mean slow in terms of transaction speeds. I mean, you know what I mean. Anyway, and then you have Bitcoin Cash, which is also in the same family as Bitcoin. And then on the Ethereum side, you have Ethereum Classic. And then they also offer BSV, whatever the hell that means. And then obviously they have Dogecoin, which I've done pretty well with Dogecoin. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I have like 4x my initial investment of like $500 or something. So, you know, I can't talk super bad about Dogecoin, but at the moment I have no interest in buying Dogecoin. But anyway, so we have all these kinds of alts, and the two big dogs, which are the two largest, Bitcoin in number one, and then Ethereum Classic in number two. And this is just in the Robinhood universe. Obviously, there's a large amount of coins in the 3rd to 10th spots that are not offered in Robinhood. But anyway, so the reason why I even brought up Robinhood in the first place is because I want to set the stage that personally, I don't really care about owning the actual coins. I just want to make money, right? I mean, if at some point down the road, I do want to eventually buy these coins, I can do that because I'll have the money to do so. I have the funds. So it should be a pretty simple transfer, pretty seamless transfer. And so that being said, now we start talking about thinking about crypto as an actual investment. And so I want to talk about a couple scenarios of what it would be like to put your money into crypto right now, right? Because we talked about the upside, where the upside of buying any particular crypto that's, you know, in the top, let's say top 12 or something, especially the ones that I just named, the upside is anywhere from, let's say, 75% upside to 3x potential, meaning if you put your money into them, into something like Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum Classic, at this point in time, the upside is about 3x. And by upside, I mean relative to its 52-week highs, right? We're not even talking about what happens if it goes beyond that. But if it just goes back to their 52-week highs, that's kind of what I'm referring to as upside, just to have more of a conservative target. Okay, so we set the stage. What's the risk of putting our money into some of these coins right now? Let's talk about the two scenarios, and let's try to be realistic with the scenarios. Scenario number one is a good scenario. Scenario number two is a bad scenario. So how do I see scenario number one? Scenario number one, let's say we pick Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum Classic. You 3x your money. So that's the upside, right? And let's say that happens in the next 1.5 years. Now, if there was someone that told you that you could triple your investment in 1.5 years, regardless of what you put, let's say it wasn't a scam, that's a pretty good deal, right? And so let's think about scenario one with an optimistic mindset, right? Now, scenario number two is that the highs that we saw recently, let's say the 52-week highs of these coins, is the highest that these coins will ever be. That's scenario number two, right? And furthermore, let's say that, because normally I would say scenario number two is that you lose all your money, right? But how likely is that, really? I mean, ask yourself, how likely is it that a lot of these coins, which are worked on by a ton of developers, we've seen the sentiment of these coins, the previous price action of these coins are not $1 million projects, right? They're pretty large coins. How likely is it that they're gonna go to zero? And like of the, you know, the top 12, top 15, etc., those that are actually like real coins, it's not very likely. It's not likely to the point that I don't think any investor would actually make that bet unless the odds were totally stacked in a certain direction and there was like, you know, uneven betting odds. But all things considered, I wouldn't make that bet. I wouldn't make that bet that these coins going to zero is an actually likely scenario. So I'm not going to include that scenario in this bear case, right? And so let's say the bear case is that forever, or in the next 3 years or so, 3 years up to forever, these coins stay in the same trading range, let's say with a 20% width. So they stay in the same 20% range in perpetuity. So when you put it that way, which of these two scenarios is more likely? That these coins are going to return to the 52-week highs over the next couple of years, or that they're going to stay in the same 20% range in perpetuity? And in my opinion, these coins returning to their 52-week highs over the next 2 years is more likely, right? And so when you consider that, we also consider the fact that the risk to reward is obviously in favor of these coins, right? Because on the upside, you have 3x, if we're talking about 52-week high. On the downside, we're talking about, let's say, minus 15%. And I know that 15% is kind of an aggressive, estimate, right? Because obviously these coins could go a lot lower. But I'm just saying, like, in forever, right? In perpetuity, they're going to stay within some trading range. Let's say maybe 20%, minus 25%. Doesn't really matter. The point is, when you're talking about minus 25% for the downside and 3x% on the upside, and you add to the fact that 3x side is a lot likelier, then this starts to become a very lucrative trade. And it's these types of investments where that really separates the folks who make something of themselves, right? Because on the opposite side, you have really risk adverse people, right? I mean, there's people that don't even want to invest in the S&P 500 because they're scared. They're scared of losing their money. And I've talked to these people, right? They don't want to invest their money in the S&P 500 or any kind of stock, because what if I lose half my money? What if the stock market crashes by 50%, right? That's the argument. I don't even know how to respond to people like that, because that's not something I practice. I don't practice how to talk to people that don't want to invest, because that's like, I got over that hump like literally day one, So I don't know how to talk to people like that. But that's the kind of person I'm talking about, right? This is what separates those kinds of people from the people who really, really make something of themselves. And I see this no different than a business, like, ultimately, when you're an investor, you are the owner of your own business. And a business is basically a person, either raising funds or using their own capital to leverage their money, right? When we invest something, we're leveraging that money in the sense that that money is now working for us. That's leverage, right? And you can turn $100,000 into $300,000 or something. So anyway, going back to the original point, what's the risk of putting your money into one of these coins, right? That's a decent project coin. Other two scenarios, I know which one I'm picking. So yeah, I'm not going to reveal how much I have. It's not a lot, but still something to keep in mind. And the last thing I'll end the video with saying is that investing now is a lot different than investing before the run-up, right? Because before the run-up, there's obviously a lot of questions. But now that we have that 52-week high behind us, it gives us a solid reference point to say that we have two scenarios. Either it's going to get back to its 52-week high, or it never gets back to its 52-week high. And I know which one of those I'm going to be taking. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Obviously, I'm pretty jazzed about this. But I'm not encouraging anyone to invest in these coins. I know how persuasive maybe I'm coming across, or maybe none of this makes sense. I'm not persuading anyone to do anything that's outside their comfort level, because I know that a lot of people don't understand these coins. I don't understand these coins. I don't act like I do. I'm just an investor and a trader looking to make money, right? So let me know what you guys think, and if you're investing in these coins, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.